what we're talking about today. The Pixter Wide Angle lens, you can clip it on your lens, front or the back of your phone. Also, the lens that I use to film this little segment, my desktop pals helped me out here, is this lens, which I'm going to take off right now so you see the difference. This is the Moment 18 mil. And I'm getting ready for a trip, and I'm also starting to add some services to some local clients where we can do some video and we can do some pictures. But I also want to make my videos better because my biggest worry is boring stuff. So I'm trying to mix it up here. But we got the 18 millimeter Moment lens versus the Pixter lens. I'll do a quick review of that for today's 30-second Thursday. Hey, what's going on? It's Mark Richmond from Divi Dojo, and what we've got going here is I'm on the standard iPhone X selfie side, so the camera's facing me so I can actually see what I'm doing on my screen. And this is without any lenses at all. And lately I've been using a mix of both the wide angle lenses. And so the one that Thanos was carrying just a few minutes ago, well, actually, you're seeing it just a few seconds ago. It was this guy. Let's see, the Pixter Wide Angle Pro, and it comes with the nifty little bag. And inside the bag, you've got a lens cap for the front and a lens cap for the back. So this screws off. I'll show you here. Jeez. Got the lens cap still on it. So then there's a little rear lens cap that can go on the back side. But it's pretty nice. You can screw it right on. It's a solid metal screw, not cheap plastic. Although the clip is plastic, but it's a good thick plastic and a really tight, a real tight spring on it. Almost like a mouse trap, so it really sticks to your phone and will not come off when shaking or tilting down or what have you. And you'll see the lens has that like camera photographer look to it. I'll change my focus so it focuses on it. Let's see if we'll get that to refocus. It should. Come on. So it's a nice quality lens. I'm very impressed with it. And this runs about, well, I found it used for $29, but I think usually it's around $40. So that's the Pixter. And the cool thing about this, and why I'm starting out with it, is I can literally clip it onto the front lens of the camera, and you'll see a big difference in 2 seconds here. Once I get it clicked on, it's a much wider screen, and you'll see now. You can see everything to my left, my whole laptop. Well, to my right. No, this is my left. To my left, and then to my right, you're seeing way more. You're seeing this guy over here, where without the lens, you weren't seeing anything remotely close to that. You don't go past the camera, so you don't go past Daredevil over here on one side. You don't go past my old camera on the other side. And again with this, and you got to make sure you get this placed just right, or you'll be slightly out of focus, or you'll get the edges. But once you get it just right, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. And I still don't have it quite right. So you got to play with it a little bit, and that's probably the only deterrent. But considering, now it's out of focus. Considering that the cost of it, and it allows you to get a wide angle lens on your selfie mode. And I did so perfect earlier. Let's just leave it at that for now. This is pretty nice. You can't do that with the moment lens, but the difference with the moment lens is the quality of the lens itself. It's thick, it's heavy, and now okay, once again, the Pixter, you don't have to have, let's see if I can get this to go without the, there we go. It's not working with me today. All right, well, no worries. You don't need to have a cover, a case for your phone to use the Pixter. Just clips on the front, clips on the back. What was a little annoying was my old favorite case that I was using, it had a little lip to it. So when I'm not in the selfie mode, but when I was on the I'll call it the regular camera mode on the other side, it wouldn't clip on because the iPhone 10 it's slightly raised off of the back, but the cover that I had, the case, the protective case, it had a little lip, so then the lens would clip on a little bit sideways or a little bit off, so it had a real problem focusing. So take that back off and look at the difference. But what you need for the iPhone is this case by Moment for the iPhone, and you have a choice of a few. You got all black, you can get this wood texture, and it's slightly textured. It's really cool. I'm digging it. And so I like to have a clear case because I really like to look at the phone itself. But you know what, all that went out the window once I put this on and put that lens on for the latest shots I've been doing. Yesterday's video was all done with the Moment lens, but you have to put this on. So I'm gonna put that back on real quick. All right, so I have that back on, and it's nice because it has kind of a texture to it, so that it won't slip in your hands, where most of my other cases, they were a lot more smooth, and I almost found myself dropping them once in a while, where I really don't on this one. I also, at the same time, picked up this handy guy. See if I can get that on the screen. It's Manfrotto tripod that can also collapses really nice with the way these legs are. It's built in to collapse and become a handle, so that you can carry it almost like a monopod or a selfie stick of some sort. And it's got this button here that then loosens this ball on top, and you can tilt this iPhone holder in any direction you want. And then it's got a great tooth grabber, so when on a spring, see if I can get that to do one-handed, on a spring here, and it locks down really well on your phone, so you won't drop it. So what I'm going to do right now is flip back to the front side, not the selfie side of the camera, and I'll put first the Pixter lens back on that side, since I'm showing that one first, and then I'll put the Moment lens on, and you can see the difference with those two. All right. Okay, so I'm back on here, and I'm showing one side of my desk, and you'll see in the picture, I'm gonna try and hold in the same exact position. You see in the picture, I've got, Iron Man on one side, and then just barely see Captain Marvel on the other side. So I'm grabbing the Pixter lens. I'm gonna go back to about the position I was, and I'm going to put the Pixter lens on. I gotta get just right, but man, once you get it on right, it's pretty awesome. Now sometimes too, I think there's a little lip on this one too. Yeah, because, okay, if I had the phone, okay, hang on, I'm gonna go back and take this cover off. I still have the Moment cover on, it's got a lip on it. Okay, you couldn't tell what I did just now, but I had a cover on the phone, now I have no cover on the phone. And I think maybe that's one drawback to the Pixter is you almost have to have no cover or a certain cover that has no lip around where the lens is. So now that I have that cover off, I'm gonna go back up to about where I was, where you got Iron Man on one side, you can barely see Captain Marvel on the other. I'm gonna put this lens on. Be a lot easier now since there's no lip. Move it around just a little where it's nice and clear. Now look at it. See just a slight bending. Got my wallet in the picture. Great. But I'm literally at the same position now, and you can see way past Iron Man, way past Captain Marvel, and you're looking at, I don't know if it's 2 times, it's probably 1.5 times the width. So I'm gonna take this off really quick again. That's where we are. I haven't moved. That's just literally taking the lens off, putting the lens back on. And then you have to position it just right to get it to focus. Okay? And that's what you get. You get very little distortion. I mean, I'm really impressed with how this thing does. If I get myself back in the picture. Really impressed with the ability of this for a real affordable lens, but allows you just to clip it right on whenever you need it, and when you're done, clip it off, and then you can share it with someone else. They can clip it on their phone and take a picture, take some photos, whatever. But I got this for a trip that we're taking pretty soon, and my wife will be taking a lot of pictures, and I thought she could use a wider lens. So anyway, that's the purpose for this. It's simple. It's not quite as permanent as it would be if you want to call it permanent. Not quite as permanent if you want to call it that for the Moment and the Moment lens. You do need to have the cover on there, and I'm going to put that on right now. I'm going to go back to the same position that I had before with the Iron Man on the desk there. I'm going to take this back off. I'm going to put the Moment lens, the Moment cover back on. So here's the Moment cover. Okay, so the Moment cover is now on. I'm facing, trying to get the same exact position I was in before. And I'm going to put the Moment lens on, which has a really nice, can I grab that? It's got this like lock mechanism. So if you line up this line with the line that's actually on the cover, and then you line up that little locking mechanism, it is on there. Once it's on, it's like iron tight. So that baby's on there now, and look at the difference. Yeah, it's about the same. I guess it says it's 2 wide or 1.8 wider than let's say the regular lens. And I like this because there's no fooling around with it. You put it on and it's done. It's ready to go. You don't have to like nudge it a little and it's a little out of focus now, or you can see a little black edging from the side of the inside of the lens of the Pixter. But it's a bit more expensive, but at the same time, man, the results are super ultra professional. And so that's why I like to use this. I'm ready for my trip, and I'm ready to offer some great services. I mean, I'm offering a service right now, just a few photos for $50 to a new website deal for a salon, and they're done. The lens is pretty much paid for, and we're good to go. You know, I mean, so there you have it. The Pixar lens and the Moment lens, which is currently on my camera, but I'm a little bit sideways. I just put this back on. There we go. All right, so we got the Pixter versus the Moment, and I think you can see they would be beneficial in different situations. I think my go-to one is definitely this moment lens. It's outstanding. But certain times, if I just want to do the selfie side, because I can't see myself, you know, and I've heard you can use a trick. You can put a mirror back there behind your phone, and so you can actually see yourself where you're at in the scene. If you want to see yourself, even though the camera's not quite as good, it'll work just fine. You put the Pixter one on and you can see yourself if you need to and you want to be able to do that. Otherwise, I'm pretty good with just using this because I know I'm in the picture. I'm starting to learn the distance I can be, how far back, and how close before I'm cut out of the picture. I'm starting to learn that, where I can be. And this gives you pretty wide range to go to. So there you have it.